بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبع هداه. So today the mud that we're going to speak about is المد المتصل. المد المتصل. What does the word muttasil mean? Connected. And what are we talking about here? What is connected with what? Remember when we spoke about al-mad al-lazim last week, we said that whenever we have harful mad followed by sukoon, then we have al-mad al-lazim. So today we will say the same thing about this or something similar. So whenever we have harful mad again, followed by a hamza this time, a hamza, instead of a sukoon. In the case of al-mad al-lazim, we had to have sukoon. Was it in the same word or was it in two different words? It has to be in the same word. All right. In the case of the hamza, it makes a difference whether the hamza is with harful mad in the same word or in two different words. That means two different words means that harful mad is at the end of one word and the hamza is at the beginning of the next word. We didn't say this about the sukoon. So the word muttasil, in this case we are talking about something connected to something else. So we are talking about harful mad and we're talking about the hamza. So if we're talking about something connected to something else, we're talking about harful mad being connected to the hamza, meaning that they are in the same word. So whenever the hamza comes after harful mad in the same word, then we have al-mad al-muttasil. And we will see next week what happens when they are in two different words, what will happen then. A simple example is probably a word that we just read. For example, yasha'u. Illa an yasha'a. Illa an yasha'a rabbi shay'a. We just read this word. Yasha'a. Right? This is a word that we just read in this ayah. So here we have harful mad, which is the alif, followed by a hamza, and obviously in this case it is one word, it is in the same word. Therefore we have al-mad al-muttasil, a connected mad. And the reason we need to know whether it is muttasil or not, it is because it is connected to or related to how long is it going to be? How long is it going to be? So unless we know what it is, we will not know how long is this mad. So in this case, this mad is extended 4 or 5 haraka. You may find in some books 6 as well. But as long as you do 4, then we'll be happy, right? Most people will tend to make it shorter than 4. This mad is not shorter than 4. It's never shorter than 4. So we want to make at least 4 haraka, which means that it's double the mad al-tabi'i. It's double the ghunna. It's double the idgham with the ghunna, right? So you have to show that it is longer. It is double. How often does this mad happen in the Quran compared to, let's say, al-mad al-tabi'i? Half the time? All right. Probably less than that. A lot less than half the time compared to al-mad al-tabi'i. But if we compare it to al-mad al-lazim, what do you think? Almost the same? It's not the same?
Much more.
Much more? This one is much more? How much more? 3 times? All right, yeah, 3 times is a good estimation. 3 times is more than the mad al-lazim. The mad al-lazim, as you said, is very rare in the Quran. Very rare. I mean, let's say if you read the first 2-3 pages of Surah Al-Baqarah, you'll find it in Al-Fatiha, the end of Fatiha, and then you'll probably not find it again until much later on. But this one, you will find it quite a bit compared to the mad al-lazim. But the mad al-tabi'i is found in basically every ayah, every other word you will find a mad al-tabi'i. And here, if we go back to the huruf al-mad, we gave the example of an alif here, but it could be any other letter of huruf al-mad. It could be a ya, it could be a waw. An example of a waw is the word, for example, su. Right? We have a harf al-mad here, a waw, with a sukun preceded by a dhamma, and after it there is a hamza in the same word. So here I say su, and here I had, if I didn't say it, it is yasha. And usually they put this sign on top of it to indicate that it is a mad. It is at least 4. At least 4. Yes.
So if I stop at the word yasha, does it take حكم المد العرض السكون?
Yes. If I stop on the, as Brother Mustafa said, if I stop on this word, do I have mad عارض للسكون? We say yes, because we will have حرف المد, which is the letter before last, and after it we will have a non-original sukun, because we stopped. Then we will have a non-original sukun, and this will lead us to make it mad عارض للسكون, which is in this case 4 or 6. In this case 4 or 6. 4 or 6, because here what is different here is that 4 or 6, if we are referring to the mad عارض للسكون, in this case we have basically 2 mads in one. We have mad عارض للسكون and we have mad متصل. If we stop, we cannot go lower than 4 because it is a hamza, unlike any other letter. A hamza coming after harf al-mad.
So even if the way you've been reading throughout with mad al-'arḍ sukun is with 2 haraka, you would still make this one longer?
Yes. Yes. I was going to give an example with a ya. Bari or Jia. So here we have a ya, which is, I hope you can see it. Can you see it, Brother Ibrahim? Yeah. You can see it? Yeah. We have a ya with the sukun preceded by kasra. So it is harful mad, and it is followed by a hamza. So I say bari'un. What is one of the most popular word that has this rule? Yasha. Yeah, I think it's popular enough, but there are other words. Ulaika is very popular, and ha'ula'i. I mean, it's a similar word. Also, the word ma. The word sama is also. I think the word ma and sama are found very frequently in the Quran, right from the very beginning. The word ma and the word sama, which have the same rule as this one, yasha, the same case. I mean, they have an alif followed by a hamza at the end of the word. So the word ma and sama. And people tend to make them too short. So as I said, the minimum here is 4. We don't want anyone making it less than 4. Even if you're reading fast, you have to make sure it's long enough. After all, it's not very frequent. It's not as frequent as المد الطبيعي. Questions? Yes, brother.
So, المد المتصل and المد اللازم, it only comes with حروف المد, never comes with حروف اللين, right?
Yes, Jazakallah khair. I was actually, I started to talk about it, but then I got distracted. In the case of حروف اللين, this is the case of حروف المد. In the case of حروف اللين, if we have حرف اللين followed by hamza, in this qira'ah and in most qira'at, they don't make a mad similar to this, except in qira'at warsh, which is used mainly in North Africa, Morocco, Algeria, probably Mauritania, and maybe part of Tunisia, maybe, and maybe part of Egypt, and maybe some other African countries as well, where they make the mad longer when harful lin is followed by hamza. In the word, for example, shay. In the word shay, we have harful lin followed by a hamza. They would say shay. Alhamdulillah, we don't have to say this in this qira'ah, because it's kind of because every time you have a mud, you have to make extra effort to make it long enough, right? And you have to take a deep breath and stuff, so it will make you work for it. So we don't have to do that in this qira'ah. So if we go back to comparing حروف المد and حروف اللين, حروف اللين are only affected by المد العارض للسكون, or مد اللين العارض للسكون. They are not affected by the hamza, as it is in this case and the case coming with us next week, and the case of an original sukun like the mad al-lazim. So they are not affected by that. Two haraka, or they even say in some books you will find that it's just one haraka for mad al-lin or harful lin, except when it is mad al-ard li-sukun.
So, and that's the same for mad al-lazim? Harf al-lin doesn't affect it?
It's not affected by an original sukun as it is the case for mad al-lazim. As I said, in this qira'ah and most qira'at. So the homework today was supposed to be Al-Baqarah 31 and Ad-Duha 7 to 10. Anybody read this at home? This ayah is very good training for المد المتصل and also some other stuff. All right, let's start from the beginning of the list with Brother Abdullah again.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين.
جزاك الله خير أخي عبد الله. أخي عادل.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال انبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين.
جزاك الله خير إن شاء الله. Brother أحمد البراء.
وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين.
جزاك الله خير Brother أحمد.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وعلم آدم أسماء
Don't make it too long. وعلم. Don't say Don't make it too long.
وعلم.
Still long.
وعلم.
That's better.
وعلم آدم أسماء.
وعلم آدم الأسماء.
وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم
What's the rule in?
نون ساكنة بس إدغام بغيرهما إن كنتم صادقين.
What's the rule? Sorry.
إدغام.
Is it? What's the rule, Brother Yahya? Did you hear Brother Ahmed what he said just now? No. All right. I prefer that you listen to him. All right? Jazakallah khair. So who wants to help? Brother Baghdad, you were saying no. What's the rule? It is ikhfa. And in any case, you didn't make it long enough. So you have to say in kuntum. Jazakallah khair, that's better. The word kuntum, by the way, if you just look down this page, you'll find that it's very frequent in the Quran. Like the word kuntum and the word antum. So it is frequent, so we have to make sure we are giving it the right timing. Jazakallah khair. Brother Baghdad. Brother Yahya.
Me?
No. He's going to read. All right.
وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن
Any mistakes that Brother Baghdad did at the end? What did he do, Brother?
The إخفاء in kuntum.
Yes.
The changing of the صاد to sin.
All right. Yes, the word kuntum, we just mentioned it. So kuntum, you did the ikhfa properly in, but then kuntum is just after it, so it will be obvious that you didn't do the same thing. So in kuntum, and then sadiqin, the sa, you made it too soft, so it sounded like a sin, like you said, like sadiqin. So it is supposed to be sadiqin. All right, jazakallah khair. Brother Hanif.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين.
Jazakallah khair. The word thumma, make it a little bit longer. Thumma. Yes, a little bit longer. Jazakallah khair. Brother Ibrahim.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين.
جزاك الله خير. Brother Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين.
جزاك الله خير. Brother Mustafa.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين.
جزاك الله خير. Brother Nasir.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين.
What's the rule in kuntum? طيب. The word, when you said in, you made it a little bit long, but when you say kun, you didn't make it long at all. So you say in kuntum. Try it one more time. In kuntum. Read from فقال أنبئوني.
فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين.
We want it much longer than that. In kuntum.
إن كنتم.
That's better, but longer.
إن كنتم.
طيب. Practice it at home, inshallah. We want it much longer than that. It is longer now, but we want it longer than that. Jazakallah khair. Brother Sajjad.
وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين.
Jazakallah khair. Thumma, a little bit longer, like I said to Brother Hanif. Jazakallah khair. Brother Yahya.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها.
What's the rule in al-asma?
There's مد المتصل.
What's the proof?
There's an alif followed by a hamza.
And that's the proof?
Yeah.
Is he right or wrong? Say again, Brother Hanif? Incomplete. So what is the completion to this? In the same word. So the hamza having followed the alif is not enough, because it could follow the alif, but it could be in the next word. So you have to say that it follows the alif and they are in the same word, and this will make it a mad muttasil. So how long is this mad?
4 or 5.
And how long did you do it for?
I don't know.
All right, you made it much less than 4. So let's try it now with 4, at least.
وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين.
All right, Jazakallah khair. So anything that you made long should have been longer. Like the 2 haraka, the mad al-muttasil, and this is what we have been talking about, is we want to make it longer because this is the common mistake. Most people, they would make it shorter than it is supposed to be. So make everything longer and read slowly. All right? Jazakallah khair. Yes, brother.
هؤلاء. I think one of the brothers read هؤلاء, so the ha is not part of.
Well, I intentionally don't want to talk about the word ha'ula today because it's part of next week's lesson, so that we don't confuse this mad with the mad that is coming next week. So we'll leave it inshallah next week. Jazakallah khair. It's good that you paid attention. Brother Abu Yahya, Jazakallah khair.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين.
But when you said the word عرضهم, any word that has a number of consecutive fatha, like this word, عرضهم, for example, there was another word in the ayah that we read earlier. We have to read it slowly so that we can give the time, enough timing for each and every letter. If we try to read this one too fast, then we're going to miss some of the haraka, not the haraka, but we're going to make the letter shorter. So عرضهم, right? If I try to read it too fast, then I'm going to eat a little bit of the letters. And then you made qalqala on the meme. And this is one of the issues that you have sometimes. Like you said, عرضهم على الملائكة. And it's supposed to be عرضهم على الملائكة. All right? Jazakallah khair. Brother Salim.
وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين.
Jazakallah khair. Who did you listen to? You said you listened to it today. Who did you listen to? The other one, yeah. MashaAllah. All right. Jazakallah khair. Brother Salman.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها
ثم, Brother Salman, I did mention this letter for you, the tha that has 3 dots. the tip of the tongue has to come out. ثم.
قل لها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين.
Jazakallah khair. Did you read it at home, Brother Salman? Did you read it at home?
No.
All right. Try to read it or listen to it at home one more time, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. All right. Maybe we have time to read the next one, which is Surah Al-Duha. Or let me read it for you. This, sorry, if you want to go back, I forgot to read it. وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين. All right. Surah Al-Duha, ayah number 7 to 10, inshallah. Surah Al-Duha is surah number 93. It's easier. جاهز؟ تفضل.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والضحى.
أخي عبد الله, ayah number 7 to 10. Yes. We only want to concentrate on the rules that are relevant to us. That's why. Sorry.
ووجدك عائلا فأغنى وأما اليتيم فلا تقهر.
Is that ayah number 7 in your mushaf, Brother Abdullah? ووجدك ضالا فهدى.
ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث.
جزاك الله خير. Number 10 is before that. It's all right. It's all right. You are the first victim. جزاك الله خير. Brother Adil.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر.
جزاك الله خير. Brother Ahmed.
ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر.
جزاك الله خير. Brother Ahmed.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر
Jazakallah khair. You can review the video of Al-Ikhfa. I don't know if you probably saw it, but review it again, inshallah, so that you will perfect it a little bit. The timing was there, but the pronunciation was a little bit off. And the lam in the word, I know I corrected you earlier today. The lam is always, not always, most of the time is soft, except in the word Allah. So the lam is soft when in the word dalan, not dalan, and ailan, not ailan. Right? The lam is always soft. All right, Jazakallah khair. Brother Baghdad.
ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر.
Jazakallah khair. Brother Hanif.
ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر.
Jazakallah khair. Brother Ibrahim.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى.
What's the rule in عائلا? مد متصل? Is there anything else, Brother Ibrahim? There's ikhfa. You agree with him? Alright, did he make ikhfa? He didn't. So try it again and make sure. How long is the ikhfa? 2 haraka. Try it again. Alright. That's much better.
فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر
فأما
اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر.
جزاك الله خير. Brother Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر.
I mentioned something about 10-15 minutes ago that's relevant to us now, and we find it here in this ayat. Anybody can remember? Brother Mustafa?
ووجدك. So you have to go slow there because
Jazakallah khair. Notice in the word ووجدك how many fatha we have. The whole word has a fatha. We have 5 of them. فوجدك ووجدك, and there is 2 of them. And in this in these 2 words, if you notice, a lot of people when they read it, I mean, so far everyone read it properly. A lot of people when they read it, because they go too fast, so they will kind of eat a little bit of the word of the letters. It will sound like this. It will sound ووجدك ووجدك, as if the dal, for example, has a sukun. But if you read it slowly, ووجدك, so that every letter is clear and nice. All right, Jazakallah khair. Brother Mustafa.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا وأما السائل فلا تنهر.
جزاك الله خير. Brother Nasir.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى.
What's the rule in the word عائلا, Brother Nasir? All right.
ووجدك عائلا فأغنى.
Much longer.
ووجدك عائلا فأغنى.
It's longer now, but we want it much longer than that. Be patient.
How many happy?
It's supposed to, but it didn't reach 2 yet. عائلا ف.
ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر.
جزاك الله خير. Brother Sajjad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر.
جزاك الله خير. Brother Yahya.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر.
When you did the إخفاء ضالا فهدى, you need to practice it at home and make sure your tongue is not touching the upper palate, because when it touches it will produce a noon sound, and this is what we are trying to hide. So we don't say ضالا like this. Lan, this is a noon. So we say ضالا fa. And similarly عائلا fa. All right? جزاك الله خير. أبو يحيى.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر.
جزاك الله خير. مسلم.
ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر.
جزاك الله خير. Brother Salman.
ووجدك ضالا فهدى.
Again, the shadda, we need to emphasize it more. ضالا. Right? The shadda.
ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا
السائل, what's the rule in the word?
وأما السائل فلا تنهر.
جزاك الله خير. Again, look at the video, as I mentioned to the brother Ahmed, of Al-Ikhfa. If you need to review it. I know you were not here, but you can review the video, inshallah. Al-Ikhfa. The rules of Noon, Sakin and Tanween. Alright, let me read it and then we'll, inshallah, close soon. وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى وَوَجَدَكَ عَائِلًا فَأَغْنَى فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ وَأَمَّا السَّائِلَ فَلَا تَنْهَرْ. Next week we're going to talk about, inshallah, the last mad of the series, and the homework is as written in the form here. Surah An-Nisa, which is surah number 4, ayah number 143. 143. It's one of the long ones, like we did today. It's a long ayah, just a single ayah, but it's like two lines or a line and a half. So just make sure you listen to it and you practice it. It's also a good practice for the mad that we took today and the mad that will be taken, inshallah, next week. The mad al-muttasil. And next week is going to be the mad al-munfasil, which is very similar to this one. You just have to distinguish between the two. Right? It's very simple. It's just a matter of knowing which one is which. Most people will confuse the word muttasil with the word munfasil, but it's not a big deal as long as you know which one is which and you know what to do. Knowing the word is not going to, inshallah, make a difference. Any questions before we close, inshallah? Today Maghrib is going to be in about 10 minutes, so we could pray here at least this week, and then maybe from next week we can, inshallah, stop probably 20 minutes before Maghrib so that you can pray in the masjid or wherever you need to go, inshallah. Any questions about the mudud so far? So as I said, we are trying to finish level 3 before Ramadan. The last lesson is going to be June 10th, which is about a week before Ramadan. We're going to be in this classroom until May 13th. The 13th of May. So we're going to be here for a few weeks, and then we're going to be changing to another building in the same here, the same place. So I will let you know, inshallah. But we're going to be here for 4 or 5 weeks, inshallah, in this classroom. The closest parking is the one by the stadium here, in case you parked somewhere else. The parking by the stadium is the closest, in case you didn't know. Any questions? All right. The test is Surah Al-Mutaffifin. The final test for this level is Surah Al-Mutaffifin. And you will be asked this time, you'll be asked questions about Tajweed, just to see if you understood some concepts of the rules that we took in level 1 and in level 2, inshallah. The complete surah what we will do, inshallah, like we did last time. We'll do the test over 3 weeks, and we'll divide it. We'll divide the group into 3 groups, and you will be given maybe 20 minutes before class. Let's say if we go alphabetically, people whose first name starts with A until, let's say, B or H will do the test the first week. So they will come at 6:30, do the test, and then 7 o'clock we'll start the lesson and do like a complete lesson. And then the following group will do the same thing. Come at 6:30. Only people who do the test will come at 6:30. The others will come at 7. So that we'll try to optimize the time. Hopefully this formula will work better than last time. All right? جزاكم الله خير. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.